Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadravyam Jagannathaya Te Namaha. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Me. So it's very good that it's raining here. What's good about it? Well, this festival being held is a replica of the massive Rath Yatra festival held in Puri in India every year. And every year at this festival it rains. And that's considered something very auspicious. It's good if it rains there because it's so hot, it makes it a little cooler. Tapamyaham maham varsham. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I give the heat and I send the rain. Nigrinami utsrijami cha. So he sent it. So this is a very big festival in Puri. Maybe a few 100,000 people attend there. This is festival of Lord Jagannath. Here is Lord Jagannath. He's just come on his cart. He's the one who's smiling. Well, there are three of them who are smiling. The one with the black face who is smiling is Lord Jagannath. And in the middle is his sister, Subhadra Devi. And on the other side, with a white face, is Balabhadra, the brother of Krishna and Subhadra. Jagannath means the Lord of the universe, which in English or German is rather insufficiently translated as God. Jagannath has many names. His best known name is Krishna. Krishna means who is all attractive. So Krishna is all attractive and many hundreds of thousands of people come to see him. And actually, not only human beings come to this festival of Jagannath, but many beings from higher planets also come. Because Rate tu vamanam drishtva punar janma navidyate. Whoever sees Jagannath on his chariot, as you are seeing today, will never have to take birth again. Jai Jagannath! Jai Baladev! Jai Subhadra! We are taking birth again and again within this Jagat, within this universe. It is not very pleasant. Generally, people all over the world have a high opinion of Switzerland. They consider it to be a very prosperous and civilized country. So, that's true, probably. I don't know, I've only been here one day. But, even in Switzerland, people are suffering. And in fact, all over this material world, everyone is suffering because it's a place of suffering. Everyone has to suffer repeated birth and death. So from the Vedic scriptures which are spoken by Lord Jagannath, it is understood that we have to get free from birth and death and go to the eternal spiritual world of eternal happiness. But to get free from birth and death is not very easy. One has to give up all material attachments and become spiritually advanced. One has to become purified. Unfortunately, modern culture or the modern way of life makes us materially progressive but spiritually regressive. So that spiritually the whole civilization is running very quickly in 100% the wrong direction. So although people are apparently materially progressive, the modern age is probably the most spiritually ignorant ever. Modern civilization. And that's right. Even I understood that. So it is an extreme situation. Seeing this, the great spiritually advanced people of the past, seeing that the future, this present age, would be full of ignorance, they gave some special dispensation. For this spiritually crippled age, there is a process of self-realization which is very easy and very purifying. That is by chanting the holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This chanting, if done sincerely, and purely encapsulates all forms of spiritual knowledge and advancement. Encapsulates all forms of spiritual knowledge and advancement. It is a very powerful process of self-realization because it directly focuses on the ultimate object of self-realization, namely Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. Everyone is searching for Krishna. Everything we do to try to get happiness. But we do not realize that ultimate happiness is the spiritual happiness of service to Krishna. Far beyond the pleasure of the senses interacting with sense objects is the pleasure of service to Krishna and chanting His names. But due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the modern age, we are far from Krishna. We are very close to Krishna. We can never be far away from Krishna. But due to ignoring Krishna, we are very far away from Him. It's just like two people can be living in next door apartments, but they never speak to each other, they don't even know each other's names. So even though they're very close, they might as well be 10,000 kilometers away from each other. So similarly, we are very close to Krishna. We can never be far away from Krishna, because even if we forget Krishna, He never forgets us. And as our best friend, life after life, He stays with us. Sometimes we're in the body of a human being, sometimes of a demigod in heaven, sometimes of a dog or a cat or a worm in stool. But eternally our relationship is with Krishna. We are spiritual beings. And Krishna is always trying to bring us back to our happy situation in relationship with Him. So in this festival, Krishna comes out to show Himself to everyone. And anyone who sees Krishna on His rath or His chariot, they do not have to take birth again. That means everyone gets the chance to come to Krishna consciousness. So in this festival, Krishna comes out to show Himself to everyone. And anyone who sees Krishna on His rath or His chariot, they do not have to take birth again. That means everyone gets the chance to come to Krishna consciousness. So this festival is being held in many cities throughout the world. It is not simply a cultural festival, but it is a festival of the soul. It is a call to everyone to find our own souls. We're so busy working, and then when we're not working, we're so busy enjoying life that we never think, actually, who am I? What is the purpose of our life? What are we doing? Where are we going? So Krishna is calling us, wake up. What are we doing? We're so busy passing through this life, we don't know where we're going to after it. We don't like to think about what happens after this life. But we just presume that when this life is finished, everything is finished. But as Krishna teaches us in Bhagavad Gita, before we were born in the present body that we are in, we were in another body, and after we leave this body, we'll go to another body. There are 8,400,000 types of bodies. And in every one of these forms, we seek happiness. But the actual happiness of the soul always eludes us. Just one little adjustment is required. Very important word. Just to adjust. Just like if you have a radio, you have the battery, the radio is in good condition, everything's there, but unless you adjust it to the right wavelength, you don't get the station. We just have to adjust our lives to the spiritual wavelength of Krishna consciousness, so that we can hear the message coming from the spiritual world. That message is encapsulated in the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And it is spoken by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita.
And Krishna in the
There's some Bhagavad Gitas. You can bring some books.
Bhagavad Gita.
Bring some books. This small book gives, in summary, the essence of all spiritual knowledge. The first lesson in spiritual knowledge is to understand the difference between the body and the soul. That we see is Bhagavad Gita. As long as we think we are the body that we are living within, we have to suffer the vicissitudes of the body. Vicissitude means the ever-changing, troublesome condition. I don't know if there's any word in German. The distresses of the body, caused by change. But simply we have to understand that the distressful condition of this material world, we have no real relationship with it. Our real relationship is with Krishna. Everything in this material world is temporary. We will not remain in these bodies very long. Even Switzerland has a great tradition. How old is this city, Bern? It's probably more than 1,000 years old, isn't it? Like 2,000 years old. One of the oldest cities in Europe. 900 years. Anyway, that's pretty old.
Or 800.
Or 800. Even that's old. But it won't stay forever. Even Switzerland won't stay forever. Even this earth planet won't remain forever. But we shall remain forever because we are eternal. This knowledge is liberating. This knowledge liberates us from the anxiety caused by identifying with a temporary situation. So we've also heard that Swiss people are very cultured and very educated. So we request you to take these books of the highest knowledge to get the highest spiritual education. That unfortunately they do not teach in the universities. People go to universities for higher knowledge. Well, this is the highest knowledge. The knowledge that cannot be taught in the universities. Because they only teach what they can ascertain by material means. Material knowledge means that which is understood by seeing, touching, hearing, smelling, tasting, and then deliberating upon it. But spiritual knowledge, by its very definition, is not attainable by any material means. So being unable to classify it, the educational institutions just ignore it. Or they try to put it in some mundane box. They may put it in the religious studies box. So at the university you can study religious studies, but you can never find out who is God. That requires commitment and dedication. That requires faith, not blind faith, but faith that beyond this material manifestation there is a higher principle. And that we are not simply material beings. There is more to life than simply working, sleeping, producing children, and getting old and dying. The real meaning of life, the essence of life, is far more sublime than this. So with faith in the higher principle, that there is a condition of genuine and spiritual peace and love and feeling and sweetness. With faith in that higher principle, we can advance towards that goal. So this is a festival. Festival means joyful. There's been singing and dancing, and now there's very nice vegetarian food being distributed. You all agree it's very nice vegetarian food? This gentleman here looks very satisfied.
Gentleman.
You don't have any word in German for gentleman? Maybe they're all gentle, so there's no need to say. Actually, this is not ordinary vegetarian food. This is completely spiritual. This is Jagannath's mercy. So this Krishna consciousness is so nice that you can make spiritual advancement just by eating. Singing the names of Krishna, dancing for his pleasure. And then when we're a little tired, we can take this very nice food offered to Krishna. But there is a very deep philosophy behind all of this, which we've been discussing to some extent. Obviously, this is a very great culture and philosophy, and it can't be all discussed in a few minutes in a public place. But we urge you to take these wonderful books. This is the Bhagavad Gita, which is the summary of all higher spiritual teachings. There are many other books which are available in this little tent here. Books are available there in German, English and Tamil. So please take advantage of this knowledge. Now we have one very special request of you all. We're going to request you to take part in something by which you can get the blessings of Lord Jagannath. A very simple spiritual technique. If you like, you can close your eyes and fold your hands. Or if you like, if you're feeling more joyful, you can also put your hands in the air. And please repeat after me these sacred names. Please repeat and listen very carefully to this sacred sound. Everyone please say, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
This is the Maha Mantra, or the greatest of all mantras. Anyone who chants this, they are immediately awarded unlimited spiritual blessings. And if we go on and if we repeatedly chant this mantra, then gradually all the coverings of ignorance on our heart are cleared away. Ignorance means that from which lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness, envy, and all other base qualities are generated. So by chanting this Maha Mantra, the heart is cleaned of all these dirty contaminations. Then we can gradually see who we really are. We can see who is God and what is our relationship with Him. This chanting, it stops the blazing fire of material life. Material life is like a blazing fire from which we cannot escape. But this chanting of Hare Krishna frees us from repeated birth and death. By sincerely and purely chanting this Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, then all goodness manifests in our life. And spiritual knowledge, spiritual realization awakens within our hearts.
In health.
So that we feel as if we are floating in an ever-expanding ocean of transcendental bliss. And that every step of our life is filled with the divine happiness of love of Krishna. Our whole being is completely cleansed. This is the result of chanting Hare Krishna. So we are chanting on beads daily. You can see. On one string of beads, there's 108 beads. And on each bead we chant the Hare Krishna mantra. And we chant at least 16 rounds every day. That's more than 1,700 times every day. But we ask you to please chant at least once every day. And just see how Krishna manifests Himself within your life. So please chant this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Which mantra? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Study these divine scriptures, Bhagavad Gita and others, and in this way make your life sublime by the grace of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.